Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone. So before I start this video, this is going to be a very sensitive topic for some people out there. So trigger warning, this is going to be very disturbing. Some viewers may get upset. So my advice is I've left some links in the link description about the person that I'm going to be talking about and the actor who's going to be playing this person. So if you want to find out who I'm talking about, you can go and check the links that I have put already in the link description for you, so you can understand this topic of conversation. So I will start off by saying a few months back, good few months back, I found an article which disturbed me. Not only disturbed me, but disturbed the British public. In the 2000s, we lost a TV personality called Jimmy Saville. After he died, some people came forward and said they were abused by this man. Then it transpired that he had committed some of these acts on BBC's premises. BBC then found out about this, covered it up, and then a few months after his death, decided to have a celebratory night celebrating this man's career on BBC. This person that I'm going to be talking about and telling you about abused sick children, said some disgusting things. I've left some documentaries in the link description so you can get a greater understanding of this topic. But then it transpired that BBC were thinking of making a drama series about this guy. And now they have found their actor. And I have to say, personally, I think Steve Coogan should really take a long, hard look at himself. I think the BBC should take a long, hard look at themselves, because it's truly, truly disgusting. This guy was responsible for building a hospital with all his charity work, right? On the outside, if you are looking in, this guy was a hero to a lot of people, especially people who were dying and sick. He had shows like Jim Will Fix It, where he made children's dreams come true. But while he was on that show, he was supposed to be abusing kids. This guy, and the investigation, by the way, is still ongoing. And there's thousands of cases now at this stage. I have left links in the link description so you can go and check this out. This is truly, truly disgusting what this man did. This man was pure evil. This man was knighted by the Queen. This man was also friends with the royal family, British prime ministers. This man was as I said, if you're looking in from the outside, and you never knew about the things that he'd done, this man had done a lot of good. But when he died, we found out how evil this man actually was. And he got away with it, folks. He got away with it because he died before any charges were ever brought against him. Right? So BBC, in all their wisdom, the company that covered it up, and by the way, may I just add that before all of this came out, BBC were still very popular with the British public. BBC were still known as the company that was still producing some of the greatest TV shows and dramas that you could get anywhere around. They were top of their game when it came to entertainment. And the situation that BBC is in now, with the inclusion and strategy and all of this, right, all stems to what happened with this man on their premises. People were hushed up. People were sacked, right? Radio interviews where people had come out on BBC Radio, came out and said that there was something up with this guy, were never aired. BBC covered for this evil monster. And this is the reason why BBC are in the situation that we're in today. BBC are trying so hard to make up for past mistakes that we get the inclusion strategy thing and all the other stuff that they're doing, right? BBC is trying to regain their reputation, basically. Now, I'm going to read an article for you. So, as I said, a few months back, I found an article which I covered on this channel, that BBC were thinking of doing a drama series. And at the time on the video, I actually said, what actor would actually take this, would actually play Jimmy Savile? Because this is a hot topic within the British public. They don't like this man. This man is pure evil. As I said, he got away with it all. And there's thousands of kids out there that he may have abused. And these are dying, sick kids in hospitals, cancer patients. He assaulted young women on a show called Top of the Pops. The stories, he brought them back to the dressing room with another notorious paedophile in Gary Glitter, who sang the song "Do You Want to Be in My Gang?" Yeah, some people in America and around the world mightn't know who Gary Glitter is, but he was actually arrested in Thailand as well a few years back, because apparently he was caught with a kid. So all of this with Jimmy Savile was going on in hospitals. It happened on the BBC premises. And as I said, there was people that knew within the organisation, and it was covered up. And BBC, in all their wisdom, have decided that they're going to re-traumatise all of Jimmy Savile's victims by doing a drama series. They're going to spend money on a production where they should be giving the money to those victims and families of those victims, because some of them have sadly passed away because they were sick, they were dying. So I had to do this because this article, actually Cheryl made me aware of this yesterday. Now all the outlets have put up an article 2 hours ago, and I'm going to read the one from BBC themselves. So I'll get it up on the screen. And I'm very disappointed in Steve Coogan. And this is why I said Steve Coogan to play career-ending monster Jimmy, career-ending role to play Jimmy Savile, right? Because this is going to be career-ending. He obviously doesn't give a shit about his career, because why any actor would want to play a notorious paedophile? And especially on BBC. Now, people have argued, why is BBC doing it? You know, why can't another TV station that's in the UK do this? Because BBC, of course, you know, as I said, covered this up. So how truthful are they actually going to be on this, for starters? Second of all, I don't think they can look at this clearly without being biased, to be quite honest. It's absolutely I'm disgusted. But I expect nothing less from BBC now at this stage, to be quite honest with you. So I'll read this article. As I said, there are videos in the link description for anybody that doesn't know what Jimmy Saville is. I've put up 2 documentaries. There's also a leaked phone call that came to light where he's talking to a young girl. Seriously, folks, if some of you do start reading up about this and watching the videos, you're going to go down a rabbit hole. But it's truly, as I said, it's very disturbing. So just be careful when you're investigating, as I said, because it is highly disturbing. So Steve Coogan to play Jimmy Saville in BBC One drama, and this article dropped 2 hours ago. And Stephen Coogan was obviously starred in the movie Stan and Ollie. He's also starred in other movies, but it looks like he doesn't give a shit about his career, because I don't know. I said at the time, what actor would actually take up this role? Well, we know now, Steve Coogan. So he obviously doesn't care about his acting career, because I think it's highly disgusting. And I don't want to hear people in the chat or people after they watch this video in the comments say to me, well, he's an actor, he's just playing a role. Nobody should be playing this role, right? This man is responsible. As I said, Jimmy Saville is responsible for hundreds, if not thousands, of sexual assaults. This is the same guy, by the way, whose mother died and he kept her in the house for a few months. He's a bit of a weirdo. Now, Louis Theroux, as some of you around the world might know, he's a documentarian. He did a documentary. Now, when the allegations came out, he decided to pull that documentary. Also, YouTube as well, believe it or not, at the time, took down a lot of videos of Jimmy Saville. Now you just get the documentaries and stuff like that. But as I said, this fella was knighted by the Queen and all. And he was friends with the royal family and prime ministers, as I said. This guy was revered by loads of people. I even grown up as a kid, watched Top of the Pops. And he had a show called Jim Will Fix It, which we watched every Saturday night on BBC One at home when I was growing up as a kid. And when we found out about this, we were sick. So we grew up watching this man. And then it turned out then that the people that he was supposed to be helping and taking care of and making dreams of those children come true, he was actually abusing some. So, comedian and actor Steve Coogan is to play the disgraced late TV personality Jimmy Saville in a new BBC One drama. The Reckoning, a mini-series, will tell the story of the presenter's rise and sexual abuse scandal that emerged after his death. The BBC said the team behind the drama have worked closely with those impacted by Saville to ensure their stories were told with sensitivity and respect. Coogan said he is not taking the decision to play Saville lightly. Saville was one of the UK's top entertainers in the 1970s and 80s, known for TV shows like Top of the Pops, Jim Will Fix It, as well as stints on BBC Radio 1. After his death in 2011, an ITV documentary investigated claims of sexual abuse against him, leading to further allegations of abuse and string of public inquiries. There's what he looks like, by the way. He always looked like a weirdo anyway. These found that the broadcaster had leveraged his involvement in organisations such as charities, hospitals, prisons, and the BBC to prey on hundreds of people, mostly vulnerable young females. Coogan is best known for playing comedy roles, especially the part of hapless presenter Alan Partridge, but has also taken on dramatic roles in films such as Stan and Ollie and Philomena. He said, "To play Jimmy Saville was not a decision I took lightly. Neil McKay has written an intelligent script tackling sensitivity and horrific story which, however harrowing, needs to be told." No, it doesn't need to be told, you fucking idiot. It does not need to be told, Steve Coogan, right? Does not need to be told, right? And here's the thing, they said that they've worked closely with victims and all that, right? When this show drops, you're going to re-traumatize them anyway. You've probably already done that anyway. This is disgusting. BBC should not be doing this. And by the way, BBC shouldn't be the ones to be doing this because they covered up for this man. Absolutely disgusting. Steve Coogan has ended his career. And looking at the comments in articles, right? You should see it. People are not happy, right? They've said he's ended his career. He mustn't care about his career. You've ended your career, mate. Nobody in the British public is going to accept this. And I can't believe that. And I don't, you say that the decision wasn't taken lightly. You should have turned it down. You should have turned it down. He's, in 2016, an independent investigation found that the BBC missed opportunities to stop monstrous abuse by the presenter and DJ because of culture of fear. The Dame Janet Smith review identified 72 victims of Saville in connection with his work at the BBC, including 8 who were raped. 11 of his victims were younger than 12 years old. There he is there. He's a little weirdo. Now, this is a BBC article, so the way it's even written there just goes to show you that I don't think they're going to do this right. Opportunities to stop the monstrous abuse. Opportunities, right? He said opportunity. It should be they covered up. They covered up. The BBC were also criticised for dropping a Newsnight investigation, there you go, into the sexual abuse claims, which was then picked up by ITV. The corporation's former Director General, George Entwistle, later admitted to MPs that it had been the wrong decision. Oh, it'd been the wrong decision, did it? The reckoning will be written by Neil McKay, who's also going to end his career, who was also behind Appropriate Adult, the BAFTA winning drama about serial killer Fred West. See, here's the thing. I don't think BBC have the pulse of the nation, right? If you read the comments in all the in all the articles that you can read the comments in, the overwhelming sense in the comments is that nobody wants this to be written, that it should be left well alone. And if it was to be told, it certainly shouldn't be the BBC telling the story because they covered up for him. He and executive producer Jeff Pope, who will also end his career, also worked on Moorside about the disappearance of Shannon Matthews and the forthcoming 4 lives on the murders of 4 young gay men by Stephen Port. The drama will be directed by Sandra Goldbacher, who also will end her career, and produced by ITV Studios. Pope said, "The purpose of this drama is to explore how Saville offending went unchecked for so long, and in shining a light on this to ensure such crimes never happen again. Steve Coogan has a unique ability to inhabit complex characters and will approach this role with the greatest care and integrity." He has lost all integrity. What are you talking about? He's lost all integrity, right? There is no integrity here when you take this role. And there's the monster there. There's the ugly looking bastard there that got away with it. He died without being fucking pulled up because people covered up. Now, in the 70s, actually as far back as the 60s, there were people going to the police about this guy, and it was all ignored. It was all ignored, right? So even though the article there says 80 odd victims and all, try to make it out that it's 80 odd victims, right? The investigation that they've done since 2011 suggests that it could be thousands. It's a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of young women, right? So even the BBC with this article can't even report it properly, right? So how the hell are they going to do this? And he just, again, for me personally, you don't touch this. You don't touch this. But in all their wisdom, they've decided to do it. I don't get it. I really don't. I think it's disgusting. This man is a monster. This man is actually a monster. Right? So, you know, I don't see any logic in this, to be quite honest. You're going to re-traumatize the victims that are still alive, for starters, right? They're going to spend a lot of money on production, whereas if BBC were sincere in their apologies, they would actually use the money that they were going to use for the production of this to give to the victims' families or the victims that are still alive. You should not be, trust me, right? As I said, you know, if you're a victim of this kind of stuff, right, you don't want to be re-traumatized. That's the last thing that you want. And the fact that they've decided that they'll go to victims' families and victims and say, oh yeah, well, we're in close contact with them. We're going to talk to them and we're going to do it with integrity and sincerity, right? It's disgusting. You're re-traumatizing these people. It's absolutely disgusting. And BBC again, you know, I mean, this is why BBC is in the situation that it's in today with them pandering, right? Because when all this came to light, BBC, there was a government investigation, obviously the police investigation, and BBC nearly ended up not existing because of this. Because there was such a massive outcry, especially from the British public, because, you know, the British public up until then trusted the BBC, believe it or not. The BBC was a different entity back in the day. BBC was well respected. They put out the best news, they put out the best entertainment, they put out the best dramas. But while all this was going on, behind the scenes, they were letting a notorious paedophile run rampant on their campus. And now this all happened at the old BBC studios, right? They've moved into a new shiny building now. You know, maybe it's a way of getting away from that building because that building has too many bad memories. But they've moved into a new building now. But this is why BBC is in the state that it's in even today, because all this came to light. Now, the singer Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols, in a radio interview way back in the day, I think it was the 70s, did an interview where he was talking about, this was, you know what the thing about this was? It was known around entertainment circles that this guy was abusing kids, right? And only a few people would speak up. And Johnny Rotten from the Sex Pistols was one of them, right? And he did a radio interview, and he said that radio interview was pulled. Now, he did a show with Piers Morgan on ITV called Life Stories, and they played that clip where he called Jimmy Savile out, where he said that this man was going around and abusing, and BBC pulled the interview right? They covered up for this man for decades. And now these people think at BBC, and I know that there's new people there, and the people that weren't at the people that were at the BBC at the time when all of this happened are probably not there anymore, right? But that BBC shouldn't, it's not the point. This company, it should not, it was an open secret. Exactly, Raymond. It was an open secret, right? Everybody around the entertainment industry knew about what this man was doing, and BBC hushed it up every opportunity that they got. This is the same company, as I said, after he died, right? After he died, they had a Jimmy Savile Day where all the shows that he'd ever done for the BBC in memory of the man. In memory of the man. And this man abused bloody kids and young women. And now BBC think that because, you know, it's been since 2011, they think now that now is the time that they can tell the story. This shouldn't even be happening. There shouldn't even be a show. We've seen all the documentaries. Everybody knows about Jimmy Savile. If you live in the UK, everybody knows the story of Jimmy Savile. There's been in-depth documentaries left, right and centre, right? We do not need a drama series highlighting this, right? And with every drama series, remember, there'll be some fictional parts put into it because it's a drama series. And also, I'm telling you, knowing the BBC, they will fucking make this man out to be something that he's, you know what I mean? It'll be like, to be honest, BBC shouldn't be doing it. I don't think it should be done at all. But if it is being done, it shouldn't be done by the BBC. It definitely shouldn't be done by the BBC. It's disgusting. You're re-traumatizing all those victims, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves. And imagine they've approached these victims' families and the victims. You dirty, rotten pigs. Right? Pigs. I'm sorry, I am blaming Steve Coogan because he shouldn't have took the fucking role. He shouldn't be taking the role. No actor in their right mind would take that role. No actor in their right mind would take that role. No way. I'm sorry. Right? You want to be fucking mad. You want to be fucking mad to take that role. And a fucking idiot. Right? Nobody should be taking this role. Right? I even said it at the time. The actor that takes this is going to end their career. You obviously don't give a shit about your career, Stephen, because I'm being honest with you, mate. You've fucking disgusted me now. Right? Nobody should be taking this role. Absolutely disgusting. He's the most notorious paedophile probably in Britain is Jimmy Savile. And in Europe, by the way. Right? And an actor like Steve Coogan, comedian actor who's done a few serious roles. So they've even gotten a comedian to play the fucking role. No, it's unacceptable. As I said, for people that are just joining me and don't know who I'm talking about, I left a lot of links in the link description. There's a couple of 45-minute documentaries on this man. Go and check them out. It's worth checking out. You'll see how depraved this man actually was. This man was knighted by the Queen. He was friends with members of the royal family. And if we look at what's recently come to light about a certain prince, right? There's a culture of cover-up, right? And especially in Britain and UK when it comes to children, right? There's been a lot of dodgy crap going on in that country, right? Kids disappearing, right? Kids being murdered, right? Kids being abused. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I just don't know how any actor could take this role. Now, I know some people will say, well, there's movies out there with doing Ted Bundy and all of this and stuff, right? Uh, But this is different. This is different. This was abuse on kids. This was an abuse on kids. You don't do it. You don't do a drama on a man that abused fucking kids. I'm sorry. I can't get me head around that. Now, some people out there might think that this is a story worth telling. Fair enough. If you think like that, that's fine. I disagree with you 100%. I don't think that this man should be highlighted any further. He should fucking rot in hell and he should be left there, right? His name shouldn't even be brought up again, right? Because this man now, he's dead, since 2000 and whatever it is. The investigation started in 2011. So I think he died just before that, right? But this man is going to be in the spotlight again. His victims are going to be re-traumatized. And I don't care if BBC or the writers or whoever's doing this show have went to people. You've stored it all up again. You've stored it all up again. Leave it be. Nobody wants this. I'm pretty sure if I had some people from the UK on my channel right now, right, they would actually tell you that they don't want this to happen. I know for a fact they would. Right? It's disgusting. I just can't get my head around it. I really can't, folks. I mean, when I covered this a few months back, even then I was gobsmacked that they were even thinking of doing this. And I actually said, what actor is going to be brave enough to take this role and end their career? And this is going to be career ending for Steve Coogan. He doesn't realise. Someone should have someone that's around him. People that's around him should tell him that he should pull out. He should pull out of this role to save his career. Because this is going to end his career. It is. It's going to end his career. Right? I'm baffled. I'm absolutely baffled why you'd want to do this. Really. I just can't get my head around it. And by the way, some of those people that spoke out against Jimmy Saville were either sacked or hushed up by the BBC. That's how depraved the BBC were, by the way. They covered it up, and anybody that was willing to come out and be brave enough to call out what this man was done, right? People even went to the head of the BBC at the time, and they were told to drop it because he was usually successful. He was making BBC a lot of money. He done a lot of things for charity. This guy's charity work got hospitals built. He had his own private little entrances into this hospital to go into the wards so he could abuse these kids. And nobody questioned him because he did all of this stuff. He did all of this stuff for charity. So if he showed up at a children's hospital in the middle of the night, nobody had two thoughts about it. They let him. He went to prisons and abused women in prisons as well. He had this home in Scotland where apparently he'd bring kids to Scotland. There's actually a YouTube video where two people, those urban explorers, they actually find Jimmy Saville's house in Scotland and they do an urban explore. It's a small little cottage. And he went in, even the house looks creepy. Yeah, in the Louis Theroux, that was the follow-up documentary because Louis Theroux has taken down the original documentary. And Louis Theroux was sucked in by the man as well because Louis Theroux used to have him over his house and all. He turned up at his house. And Louis Theroux had young kids there at the time. Now, thankfully, nothing happened to his kids. But even Louis Theroux when he did the follow-up documentary, when he was doing the original documentary, he had found out that Jimmy Savile was ringing around to find out who he was. Found out his address. He was this powerful that if someone was doing something on him, he'd know everything about them, down to what they ate, what time they went to bed at, what they had for breakfast. Right? That's how powerful this man was. I know. I watched that documentary. You could see it in his face. You can see it. Poor Louis. He's traumatized by it because he got sucked in like a lot of the British public did, like I did when I was a kid. As I said, we watched a show called Jim Will Fix It, where he made sick, dying children's wishes come true before they died. It was like that. In America, they had a similar show, wasn't it? Like Make-A-Wish and all of that stuff. It was kind of like a Make-A-Wish. He was the first kind of presenter to do something like this. So he'd make kids' dreams come true. But then when the show was off air, then he was abusing some of these kids. This is I just can't get my head around this. But as I said, for all you people that don't live in the UK, right, I've left some links to documentaries that are on YouTube in the link description. Go and check them out. As I said, though, it's not for the faint-hearted. And if you have been a victim of this kind of sexual abuse and stuff, my advice is not to watch these documentaries because it will make your skin crawl. It will disturb you beyond anything. Even when I watched the documentaries, as I got when I was older, I watched all these documentaries. I was sitting there and I felt very uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable watch. This guy was weird, right? This guy was a weirdo. It's like, as I said, this guy's mother died and he kept her in the house. He kept her in the house for a few months after she fucking died. Right? And the thing about it is all these deeds that he done for kids was so that he could get access to these kids. That's how sick this man was. Right? He was praised by everybody. The royal family, as I said, he was knighted by the Queen. He was up there in the high echelons of high society. This guy had so much power, it's unbelievable. This guy could pick up the phone. Say I was doing an investigation into him, right, back in the day. He could pick up a phone and he'd know everything about me. He'd know how many kids I had, what my wife's name was, what I had for breakfast, what I had for dinner, what I had for tea, what time I went to bed at. This man, was seriously. And after he died, there was a whole outpouring of love for this man, especially from the BBC, right? And then few months after he died, then we start hearing whispers. Then eventually those whispers turned into rumours. Then those rumours then turned into fact. And then the true scale of what that man done came to light. And the thing about it is, what kind of pisses the British public off the most is that this man died before justice was done. So he went to his grave probably laughing at everybody because he'd gotten away with the most horrific crimes that you could get away with ever. And BBC knew about this, and people within the industry knew about this, and only a brave few were brave enough to come forward and say, no, this man is pure evil. But again, those people were vilified. Those people were either sacked or they were hushed up, right, by the BBC and others out there. And BBC now think that they're the company to go and do this drama series about this notorious paedophile. It's absolutely disgusting. And I'm sorry, I know there are some that won't blame the actor because it's a role, but I'm sorry, you don't play Jimmy Savile in any, you don't. In no reality does an actor play Jimmy Savile. I'm sorry, you don't. This was truly disgusting. And I'm not saying, for me personally anyway, I don't like when actors or actresses play these type of roles anyway. So that's just a personal thing with me. I don't like actors or actresses taking up roles like this. You're re-traumatizing victims and stuff like that. And I just don't get it. Personally, that's my personal choice. I don't agree with it. But this is truly disgusting. This is truly disgusting. And I'm very disappointed in Steve. But as I said, if you go to other articles out there and you go to the comment section, you will see how the British public feel about Steve Coogan playing this role. Right? They are not happy. They are not happy. This is something, look, I'm not saying, it should be forgotten about. It shouldn't be forgotten about what he done. But as I said, there's been plenty of documentaries over the years about this man. We don't need a drama series. You don't need to dramatize what he did. And Steve Coogan should really. So I know he says he didn't take this decision lightly, but that's not good enough for me. He shouldn't have took it. His PR team should have told him, no, Steve, I don't think you should do this. This could end your career. And I'm telling you now, this is going to end his career because I don't think he realizes how the British public feel about Jimmy Savile, or he hasn't got or maybe it's because he thinks so many years have passed by now that the British public will kind of be okay with him taking this role. No. In no circumstance will the British public be happy with this. And again, Dave is right. There'll be a lot of people that are going to cancel their TV license now. They're going to cancel their TV license and be done with the BBC now. So that's my thoughts on it anyway. It's absolutely disgusting. And as I said, if you were going to do this, which I don't agree with anyway, but if you were going to highlight what this man had done in a drama series, it definitely shouldn't be the BBC that are doing this. It shouldn't be the BBC, right? And fair play to ITV back in the day when BBC tried to cover it up. They came out and they broke the news story about this man. And as I said, the documentary is there. I've put the documentary in the link description. There's a few other documentaries as well. But as I said, it's not for the faint-hearted, right? You'll see real footage of this man. You'll see how he talks, how he conducts himself, right? You even know by looking at him and how he conducted himself that there was something up with this man. It's just nobody like us, the public, didn't know. We thought he was a bit weird, right? But now we know why. And you look at his behavior. Now you know why. He's hate. Listen, this is the most hated man in Britain. This is the most hated man in Britain. And because of the investigation into Jimmy Savile, it blew open a whole case where other people, other men were also exposed doing the same. As I said, he had Gary Glitter on a show one time with him. And then after that show apparently went off air, he brought a couple of girls back to the dressing room and they sexually assaulted a couple of girls back in the dressing room. Now, there's also footage as well that when they were taking a break from filming, there was disturbing conversations that he was having with these kids. He used to always grab kids and put them on his lap and stuff like that and kiss them. and do all of this other nonsense in front of people. In front of people. And BBC think it's great. BBC think it's a good decision to go now and dramatise all of that. Disgusting. Disgusting. Well, look, I'm going to leave it there because I do have a Doctor Who watch along to come in less than an hour. But I wanted to highlight this because obviously, as I said, I said that at the start of the video, Dave. Johnny Rotten was one of them. Fair play to him from the Sex Pistols on a BBC radio interview, and Piers Morgan played that clip. He played that clip on Life Stories. He did. And fair play to Johnny Rotten. He never backed down. He never backed down. But Johnny Rotten himself was fucking vilified. And he was, how dare you for saying this stuff and all of this. It was absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So as I said, go and check those links out if you're brave enough to go and find out what this man is all about. As I said, it's not for the faint-hearted. And I would say if you're a victim of this kind of, as I said, of sexual abuse or anything like that, don't watch them because it's very traumatizing. But for those that are brave enough to actually watch these videos and see what I'm talking about, there's links in the link description, as I said. So, yeah. And, of course, as people have said, he did some stuff for Doctor Who back in the day as well. So even Doctor Who was tainted by this man. Disgusting. Disgusting. But I'm not surprised at the BBC. I'm not surprised. This organisation is rotten to the core. And even though there is a new culture there and there's new people there, they're still rotten. The fact that they want to do this tells me everything that I need to know about that company. Absolutely disgusting. Right, I'm going to leave it there anyway. So as I said, the links are in the link description. Go and check it out if you're brave enough. Thanks for watching. The reason why I'm covering this anyway is because I covered it a few months back when the first article dropped that they were thinking of doing this, and it is being produced. It's going to be shown on the BBC, and we do highlight stuff from the BBC on this channel, so that's why it's relevant to let you know how depraved this company actually is. It's absolutely disgusting, and I have to say, Steve Coogan is going to end his career. I hope he knows that. Someone should be talking to him and telling him that he should back out of this role before they start filming. Because if he doesn't, his career is over after this. And it is over after this, because if you go in and check out the comments, some of the articles that are out there that are highlighting this, and you go into the comment section, the British public don't want this. They don't want it. Right? I'm very disappointed in Steve Coogan. Very disappointed. I think it's absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. But there you go. There are my thoughts and feelings on it, guys. I will keep you updated on this because, as I said, it's going to be shown on the BBC. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this very closely, and if there's any more developments, I will let you know. But I see, that's the thing. While there is outrage and stuff, I do agree with you, Memory. I think people will watch this, but I think people will watch it out of curiosity to see how BBC present it. But if I were the British public, I would urge them not to watch this. Don't watch it. We all know what this man did. The police investigation is still ongoing. As I said, I don't think that investigation is even wrapped up because, it's historical sexual abuse. So they're going back through time and they're looking at everything. I would urge the British public not to watch this. I would tell them not to watch it. Is that we don't need a reminder of what this man done. As I said, there are plenty of documentaries. There's plenty of stuff being, and we know everything that we need to know so far about this man. You don't need a drama series on it. So that's where I stand on it anyway. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll talk to you in 50 minutes, about 50, no, quarter past 7 maybe. So an hour from now. Yeah, I don't know why BBC are doing this. I really don't. I really don't. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I just can't get my head around the folks. Really can't. And the fact that, that BBC are doing it and they think that they're the ones that should tell the story is beyond me. If you're going to tell this story, fair enough, I mightn't agree with it personally, but if you're going to tell this story, it shouldn't be BBC. Shouldn't be BBC telling this story. Jesus Christ, the organisation that covered it up is covering this. Do you honestly think that they're gonna do it justice? I don't think so. I don't think so. And that's where I think it's disgusting. Right, I'm going to leave it there before I get angry anymore. Right, because I am angry. I'm literally really angry. I grew up watching this man, and when I found out what he did, do you know what the funny thing about it is? Right, Rolf Harris, Jimmy Saville, Gary Glitter. These were all people that I grew up with watching as a kid, right? And it turned out that every single one of them were abusers. Every single one of them were abusers. Absolutely disgusting. My childhood was destroyed. And that's the honest truth. My childhood was destroyed. Because I looked up to Jimmy Savile, believe it or not, as a kid. Watching Jim Will Fix It. I thought what he was doing for kids was amazing. And then when he died and all of this stuff came out, I was disgusted. But I was a kid. I was a kid. Even the adults back in the day were sucked in by him. The British public, the wider audience, we were all sucked in. And then when he died, as I said, it turned out that he was a notorious paedophile and sexual abuser. And I was disgusted. I was disgusted. But I was an innocent kid back then. So, like a lot of people would have been grown up watching this man. We were all kids. And we all thought he was great for what he did for all of these sick kids. We all wanted to meet Jimmy Savile. I wanted a Jim Will Fix It badge, just like most people out there when they were growing up. I wanted Jim to make my dreams come true. And little did we know what he was doing behind the scenes. It's truly disgusting. I'm actually getting a little bit. You can hear it in my voice. I think it's disgusting. I really do. Absolutely dire from the BBC. But I expect nothing from an organisation like the BBC. There's someone in the chat. My wider family had some contact with Saville in the 1990s. They hated him back then. Tried to get him in for a Leeds charity, and he wanted over 1,000 for himself before talking to them. Wow. I just don't know what to say. But as I said, if you don't know who this man is, right, I've left some links in the link description if you're brave enough to watch these documentaries, where they obviously uncover his depravity, right? It's absolutely disgusting, guys. So a word of caution, as I said, when you're watching these things, even though they're just documentaries and you don't see anything, you see a few clips behind the scenes and stuff where he's acting weird and his behavior is a bit dodgy. But it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm going to leave it there, folks. But look, check out those links if you're brave enough, and I'll talk to you later on, less than an hour for Doctor Who. So I'll talk to you soon, folks. Bye bye. Thanks for watching, by the way. I really appreciate it. I know, it's not normally the stuff that I would cover, but I did cover this. I did cover this when I found out about it, and obviously now they've picked the actor. So I did say if anything else did come, if we did get any more information, I would cover it. Because I remember when I did my first video, the reaction from people was like, hell no, why is BBC doing this? So we'll keep on top of it. We will see what else comes out from this. But Steve Coogan, if I would say to you, before they even go into production with this, before they even start filming this, mate, get out, save your career, because if you don't, you're gonna end it. And that's my final word. See you later, folks. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.